Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Productivity Boosters and Stress Reducers podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Heeb, and I can't thank you enough for listening in. Each episode, I will discuss a new tip or trick that will help you to live a productive and efficient life, professionally and personally. If you're ready to find your productivity rhythm, relieve stress, and meet your goals faster, then this is the podcast for you. This podcast is sponsored by Your Choice Concierge and GiftWell, both created to make your life easier. Your Choice Concierge provides flexible, hourly, personal, and professional assistance. Let them handle your busy tasks so you can focus on what's important. GiftWell makes thoughtful gift giving easy. They deliver and ship one-of-a-kind gifts using products from local businesses across the country. Make sure to use code YCCFriend at checkout to receive 5% off your purchase. You can learn more about Your Choice and GiftWell by clicking on the links in the description. In this week's episode, I'm going to discuss things you should be automating personally. Automating isn't just for businesses. It can be very beneficial professionally and personally. And of course, the benefits of both are very similar. Obviously, the first main benefit is saving time. Another thing you'll notice after automating is that you've also become more organized. And when you're more organized, you're more productive. Automating will also keep you from missing deadlines and reduce mistakes and errors, which will naturally reduce your stress. One of the easiest and most popular ways to automate personally is setting up your bills on autopay. Another way to easily automate is by setting up subscriptions or auto orders of your home supplies. For example, my paper towels, batteries, and furnace air filters are all ordered and delivered automatically based on the schedule that I chose when I placed the original order. Not only do I save time when I do this, but I also save money because Amazon Prime offers discounts for certain products that are set up on auto order. I know there are other companies out there that do this as well. There are also chores you can automate. If you're someone with a pet that sheds a lot, you probably spend a lot of time sweeping or vacuuming. Investing in a Roomba or similar robot vacuum will automate this chore and add a lot of time back to each day. If you want to get really high tech, you can even automate things like feeding your pets and watering your plants using artificial assistant technology like Google Assistant or Alexa. I'll dive deeper into those topics in the next few weeks. Another great automation tool that should be used both professionally and personally is your calendar. Although using your calendar doesn't necessarily take anything off your plate, I always like to include calendar reminders when talking about automation. Most everyone has calendars set up on their phone these days, but let's take that a step further. It's easier than you think to customize your calendar so that it's working in a way that's productive for you. It's the best tool for keeping up with things that can't be automated. For example, one of my personal calendar reminders is set up to remind me to change my furnace filter every month. Unfortunately, that's not a task I can automate, so the calendar steps in to help make sure I get them changed on time. If you have a family calendar with personal appointments and a busy work calendar, it's also important to make sure that these calendars are connected so that you don't overbook yourself. And you can use calendar tools like color coding to help you quickly decipher between upcoming work appointments and personal appointments so it doesn't become overwhelming. I'll be discussing more about calendar best practices in a future episode. Hint, hint, make sure you subscribe to or follow this podcast to make sure you don't miss out. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about how you can determine what to automate. What's best for me isn't necessarily going to be what's best for you. It's important to find your own productivity rhythm. Start by thinking about your biggest pain points. If you're known to pay bills late and you're tired of paying those late fees, then it would definitely be beneficial to automate your bill payments. If you're someone like me and you take a lot of pictures on your phone, you might occasionally fight the dreaded storage limit battle. Instead of deciding what to delete or doing a major file backup at once, which takes forever, you can automate your photo backup right from your phone settings. You can choose how often your photos are backed up and have the photos automatically deleted from your phone once the backup is complete, thus eliminating your battle with full storage. You should also think about repetitive tasks when deciding what to delegate. An easy example, your morning coffee, something you do every day, right? These days, even the most standard coffee pots come with an auto start or timer setting. You can sleep in a few minutes later and have your coffee already brewing or even finished and waiting right when you get up. After you've had your coffee and you're fully caffeinated each morning, simply rinse out your pot, add the next morning coffee, and set your timer. Ready to go. Another example of a simple yet repetitive thing you can automate, and this is something I do, is your phone nightly settings. Instead of manually turning my phone on vibrate every night, my phone automatically switches to vibrate every night at midnight and turns back on to normal notifications at 7 a.m. Before my phone did all the work for me, I would forget to switch the sound off all the time. Random notifications would interfere with my beauty sleep, which directly correlates to my next day productivity. And if you're someone who works in a quiet environment or takes classes, there's also a setting that will automatically turn your phone to vibrate or silent at a certain location. So, for example, when you show up to your office or a classroom, your phone will make the change for you. No more accidentally interrupting your entire office or class with an unexpected phone call. Nothing worse than being called out. Another simple thing I like to automate is my to-do list. I mentioned this in previous podcasts, but I live by and love my to-do list. I'll fill you in quickly in case this is your first episode. I have a new to-do list for every day, and of course, I have some recurring tasks that I have to take care of every day. So instead of typing those same tasks every day into a new list, I've automated the process using Google Keep. I have a to-do list template that has all my recurring tasks already listed, and I simply hit the copy button on that template to start a new daily list. It's not an overly complicated process, but it saves me a lot of time. You should also think about to-dos that take up a lot of your time when deciding what to automate. Don't overthink it. Doing something as simple as using a crock pot can be considered automating, or putting your sprinklers on timers. Start small and keep it simple. Once you know what you want to automate, the next step is deciding what type of tools you might need to make it easy. Continuously advancing technology makes it easy to automate all sorts of things. For example, there are apps that search the entire web and clip specific coupons for you. There's artificial assistants like Google Assistant and Alexa, which seem to be able to do pretty much anything for you these days. Google Assistant actually helps me efficiently manage my to-do list. Like I mentioned, I use Google Keep to create my list, and Google Keep works directly with my Google Assistant. So all I have to do is say, "Hi Google," towards my phone, and then I say, "Add ketchup to my grocery list." And it will automatically add ketchup to the Google Keep list that's labeled grocery. I don't have to stop what I'm doing to open the app and then type the word ketchup, so on and so forth. The phone can do it all without me lifting a finger. I'll be sharing a lot more about those options in a future episode as well. I already mentioned another popular personal automation tool, the Roomba. And I definitely understand if you're hesitant on spending money to automate. Think of the long-term benefits to help you decide what's worth investing in. Think about your ROI, or return on investment. Think about how much time you'll save after automation and what you'll do with the time you get back. For example, I have a pool vacuum robot. It's a lot like the Roomba, but for the pool. It was more expensive than the normal pool vacuum, but it saves me a lot of time. And the time that I'm not spending manually vacuuming the pool is spent doing other productive things. And that will hopefully lead to more time to enjoy in the pool later, since my to-do list should get finished sooner. If I were using the time I was saving to take naps, the ROI probably won't be the same. If you're not sure what type of tools might help you automate, a quick Google search should give you a lot of options. And I'm always here if you need help. I could go on for a lot longer about automation, but this is a 10-minute podcast and our time is up. That's all for this week's episode of Productivity Boosters and Stress Reducers. If you want to talk more about automating, have feedback about this episode, or a specific topic you'd like to hear about in the future, please email me at info@yourchoice-concierge.com. I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you also subscribe to the Your Choice Concierge YouTube channel, where you can find some examples of the tips and tricks that I discuss on the show. Thanks again for listening. I'm Stephanie Hebe, and I hope you'll join me next week for more tips and tricks to live a productive and efficient life, professionally and personally. Have you considered starting your own podcast but haven't had the time? Check out Buzzsprout. They make launching and managing your podcast effortless. Trust me, if I can do it, anyone can. Clicking the Buzzsprout link in the description will let them know we sent you and get you a $20 Amazon gift card if you decide to sign up for a paid plan. Thanks again to our sponsors, Your Choice Concierge and GiftWell. Until next time, productive people.